Hello, my name is Wes Dawson, and I would like to welcome you to Gabagool and 8. New episodes every Wednesday, and this Wednesday is a special treat, as this is the inaugural episode of Gabagool and 8's Movie Rewind. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, my God, Wes Dawson and the Gabagool and 8 creative team have come up with a new, innovative, engaging, and entertaining podcast theme idea, you would be horribly mistaken. In fact, the whole theme for this episode, I was going to scrap it, but as part of my post-pandemic 3 social outings a year schedule, I'm in fact going out this weekend, so I won't have time to revisit or re-edit this episode, so I needed something that was quick to the punch, easy to get to the point, and only 8 minutes long, so it's the perfect place for it. Now, basically, the idea behind this week's episode, this new recurring series, will be to revisit either classic films from the past or some of my personal favorites. We'll basically be creating movie highlights like my father used to do when he'd watch films, and basically fast forward to any action scenes, murders, or nude scenes, pretty much anything interesting in the film, making himself a nice little 3-minute synopsis of what was going on. Which was then followed up by like 30 questions. I was like, if you want to know, watch the actual fucking movie. So in practicality, what I will be doing is either watching films at 2 times the speed or clicking through them as quickly as I can to provide you a synopsis or a nice overview of the film without having to actually commit 90 minutes or 2.5 hours, whatever it is, to the film itself. So let's get into it. So for this week, of course, we are touching on Rambo 2008. Okay, you're going to have to excuse the clicks as I go through because I wanted to muffle my mouse somehow, but ain't got time for that. All right, let's go. Okay, so film's opening up. The Weinstein Company. All right, that didn't age so well. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, all right, click through this. Okay, so now we got some clips of, actual shit going on in Burma, a conflict zone. I kind of liked how this Rambo, which many of us believed was going to be the finale in the Rambo series, sort of went back to their roots and found like a real-life conflict and built a story around that. Too bad that in retrospect, the story just wasn't that great. Of course, this was an Oscar-worthy classic compared to 2019's Rambo Last Blood, which was just a messy piece of garbage. My God. Okay, now we got Stallone, or we got Rambo poking around at some cobras with sticks. Nothing says tough military Green Beret like poking around at cobras. Yeah, 2019's Last Blood, my God, that was just atrocious. It's like, it didn't even make sense. Like, he was helping like his daughter's best friend's college roommate get revenge on his personal farm that he built all these booby traps and hideouts in. And a little far-fetched. I really wish they had ended it with this film. Okay, so we're jumping through. Here's Rambo. He lives in the woods or lives in the jungle. And some Christian missionaries come up. Of course, I showed my mother this film basically doing the same thing. Showed her the key scenes. The first key scene is when the priest guy's like, hey, we need to go up and we want to make some positive change. And then he's like, how many guns are you bringing? And he's like, what are you talking about? We're not bringing any guns. He's like, they're not going to change a goddamn thing. Love that scene. It was pretty awesome. I remember 2008 when this came out, I was like, man, Rambo is yoked. Like, this dude is big. Again, I stopped the scene of him on the riverboat. He was kind of has his arms bent over the throttle to show my mom to be like, look how beat this dude's forearms are. She was not impressed. Okay, so we're going down the boat. Here the Christians are like, hey, Rambo, don't be so cynical. And he's like, you have no idea. I don't know if this guy's ever smiled in one of the Rambo series. I think would have been a nice change of pace. Like Rambo the musical. Okay, so then they're going down the river, and then these pirates are like, yeah, we're gonna steal your stuff. And Rambo's like, everybody shut up. And then they don't shut up. And then they show up, and then Rambo kills everybody, and the guy's, I'm right on the scene. He's like, why would you do that? He's like, they would have killed every one of us and raped us all, or something along those lines. A lot of rape in this movie. That's what my sister had noticed as well. It's like, why is this film so rape heavy? And I said, I'm like, look, if you love revenge films, you're going to love a revenge film where you're getting revenge on rapists too. Like, this is bread and butter for people who like revenge films. Okay, we're going to jump through. Basically, Rambo's like, don't go in there. They're like, hey, we're Christian missionaries. We're basically superheroes. They're smiling, got their backpacks on. Here we got Rambo burning the boat of the pirates that he killed, hiding the evidence. They're out there dancing with children. He's fucking burning human bodies. This is great. And then shit hits the fan. People are dying. Here we go. Okay, boom, boom, boom. basically shit goes wrong, and then they hire another group of like mercenaries to come save them. They're like, we can do it, and obviously they can't do it without Rambo. All the while, there's this real piece of shit guy going around smoking cigarettes, and he's like, I'm gonna rape everything. And so we know he's kind of the antagonist of the story. Keep clicking through. Obviously, this team of Marines are no fucking good. We got the angry, bald British guy. We got the young, cocky American. We got the Asian sniper. I don't know if they're known for being snipers, but I've noticed that a lot in military films. It's a local guide. You know he's local because he's got a bandana on his head. And other than Rambo, he's the only one allowed to do that. They march through. They all get killed or whatever. Fuck, they get lost. I don't know. Something happens. And then a scene we'll stop on is the female protagonist was about to get raped. Again, wow, if I could make any money off these videos, this would surely be demonetized. I think I've said rape about 40 times. Yeah, so then Rambo catches the dude, and he doesn't just kill him, of course. He's got to silence him, so he rips his throat out. Seems very practical to me. They're having like a rave dance party. It's over. They kind of realize, oh shit, there's a fucking 5'8" American guy killing everybody. So now they're going out to get him. He saves the girl. What's going on here? Ooh, somebody got their leg blown off. Oh yeah, just so you know, this movie is extremely violent. This was like, the Rambo films, obviously by definition, were somewhat violent. These films were like grotesquely violent. Not for my personal taste, just I did not expect that. So now here they are. I don't know why they're cutting some guy's skin off his shin. I don't know what happened. Playing soccer, maybe. Then, you know, all the military shows up, and of course a team of like 8 mercenaries I can't do anything. Watching Rambo run through a CGI explosion at 2 times the speed, I highly suggested it. That was very enjoyable. Anyway, the whole Burmese army comes down upon Rambo. He finds this giant Gatling gun. He cuts like 100 people in half with it. Somehow they can't seem to flank him. He's one guy, but he's got broad shoulders. And finally, the main rapist guy, he catches him, and then he guts him with a big old knife. I don't know if it's the same knife that he used to like close his wound in First Blood. I hope it is. Then the Christian girl's hugging the priest guy like he had anything to do with it other than cowering in fear and the aforementioned cutting the flesh off some guy's shin. Everyone's happy. And then that's the thing. This movie ended so well. You know, you got Rambo shows back up at the old Rambo farm, walks down the dirt road as the music plays, credits cue. It was a beautiful ending to a beautiful series, but instead they had to shoehorn in that 2019 like, hey look, the CGI is better now, so the gunshots don't look as bad. So basically that was 2008's Rambo. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad of a film. I think it's easy to poke fun at. One thing I didn't notice when I watched it when it had come out at the time, a lot of the gunshot wounds and explosions were full CGI. And it's weird, like, at the time you don't see it because you're like, wow, the effects are so good. And today you're like, wow, this looks like a fucking YouTube video. This is ridiculous. So if we're going to give it a rating, I'll give it a 6 out of 8. Because we're Gabagool 8, I guess. A 6 out of 8 because it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't that bad. I like the Rambo series. Up until Rambo Part 3. Much like the Rocky series, I think you went a little too far with it. I think you could have maybe rolled it back a few installments. Well, that's all we have for Gabagool 8 this week. Thank you for joining us on this experimental and, as you've seen, extremely entertaining adventure. I say that as facetiously as humanly possible because I highly doubt this was worth the 8 to 9 minutes you spent listening to it. My name is Wes Dawson, and this has been Gabagool 8. Please listen, like, share, and subscribe, and I swear upon the name of the great Lord Shabugamoo that next week I will have a banger of an episode. No more cutting corners, no more fucking around, no more pussyfooting around.